In this exercise, we will create a plant list for the existing backyard trees using the table command. You can see it, plant list that we're going to create on the screen right now. I will begin by opening up the trees drawing that we previously created. And then I'm going to go to the Layout tab, Layout 1, at the bottom of the screen here below the drawing area. And I'm going to select the viewport. There's currently one viewport there, and delete it. There's now no viewports on my Layout 1 tab. I'm going to put my plant list here. Before I create my plant list, though, I want to create the text style called Stylus BT, and I can do that by typing in style at the command line. I'll hit the new button and type in Stylus BT for the style name, and then I'll search for the Stylus BT font. I'll say apply, set current, and I'll close that out. Now if I go up to the ribbon tab called Annotate, it will show me in the text panel that the Stylus BT font style is the active or the current text style. If I go to the Tables panel to the right here, I can get to the Table Style Manager by clicking on the little down arrow in the bottom right corner. That brings up the Table Style dialog box. I could also get to that Table Style dialog box by typing in Table Style at the command line. Currently, there's only the standard table style. I want to create a new one. So I'll hit the new button and I'll type in plant list for the name of my new style. I'll say continue. For the cell styles area, there's the data, the header, and the title cell styles. I'll begin with the title cell style and change the properties in the General tab to have a fill color of green, alignment of middle center, and margins of 0.08 for the horizontal and 0.08 for the vertical. I'll now adjust the cell styles for my header, and those will have a fill color of none, alignment of middle center, margins of 0.06 horizontal and vertical. And for the text, I want to use the Stylus BT text style that I just created with a height of 0.15 for the header. I realized that I forgot to select my text style and my height for the title, so I'll go back to the title text style, and from the text tab I will select the Stylus BT font, and then I'll adjust the text height to be 0.18. The third and final text style is the data cell, which you can see in the display area here makes up most of the table. From the General tab, I'll make sure that the fill color is none, that the alignment is middle center, and from the text tab here I will select my Stylus BT as the text style, and I'll give it a height of 0.15. Having adjusted all the cell styles for my data, header, and title, I will say OK. I will set this plant list table style as the current table style. I'll close this out, and then I'll go into the table command either from the table panel or by typing in table at the command line. Notice the table style that's active is plant list, and I want to set my columns and rows to have 6 columns and 13 rows. The column width should be about 1.5, although we're going to adjust that once we place our table. I'll go ahead and say OK. I'll bring my new table up and I'll place it on my Layout 1 tab, and I can begin entering the data for my table. The title is Plant List. If I hit Enter, it will drop down to the next row, which is the header symbols in all caps. If I hit the Tab key, it will jump to the right to the next column, which is type, and then quantity, QTY. I'll hit Tab again. Cost, hit Tab. Extended cost, EXT, Tab again, and the final column is the remarks column. I can select the cell that I want to edit by single clicking in that cell, rather double clicking in that cell. Under symbols, I'll type TBD, to be determined, because I'm going to add those symbols later. Rather than type in TBD multiple times, I will single click on the cell, and from the bottom right corner of that cell I'll select the diamond and I'll drag it down all the way to there, leaving 3 columns without the TBD. I can then type in the remainder of the types of plants. I have a juniper. Whoops, wrong cell. I want to be in the type column. I have a juniper. Turn off my caps locks here. Juniper. I'll hit enter to drop down. Sagapalm. I'll hit enter. Orange tree, enter. Peach tree, enter. Avocado tree, enter. Ficus tree, enter. Queen palm, enter. Bougainvillea, enter. Rose bushes, enter. Looks like I've forgotten one. I've got juniper, sagapalm, orange tree, peach tree. I forgot the lime tree here. The lime tree. So let me go in and edit this. This will be my lime tree. This will be my avocado tree. This will be my ficus tree, and you can see how easy it is to edit these just by dropping in on them. This will be my queen palm, my bougainvillea, and my rose bushes. For the quantities, if you have a 10 key, it makes it easier. This will be 3, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, all the way down to the ficus tree, which is a quantity of 2. Queen palm is a quantity of 2. Bougainvillea is a quantity of 1. And the rose bushes, there are 20 of them. For the cost, I'm also using the 10 key on my keyboard. I'll enter 50. I'll enter 350, 225, 350, 100, 225, 125, 300, 75, and 20. Now the formatting is not what I want here, so what I'll do is I'll select these cells with the crossing window, and then I can either right click and go to Data Format from the pop-up and choose Currency, or I could go up to the Data Format from the Cell Format panel and select Currency. Notice it adds the $sign and places the 2 zeros for my change. For the extended cost, I'm going to use a formula to multiply the quantity times the cost. And I can enter that formula much like I do in Excel by placing the equal sign and then the cell that I want to work with, which is cell C3. I want to multiply cell C3, the quantity of the juniper, times the cell D3, the cost of the juniper. So it's C3 times, and the asterisk symbol, that's the Shift 8 key, the asterisk symbol is used for multiplication. So it's C3 asterisk D3, and if I hit enter, it will do that multiplication for me. I want to do the same thing for the rest of these cells. Rather than entering it multiple times, again, I'll use the bottom right corner, this diamond button, to drag down and copy that formula into the rest of these cells. And that saves me some time. In the remarks column, I want to put a few remarks. There's 2 removed from the junipers. The lime tree is small and sick, and the queen palm is not shown. Now, some of my columns are not properly sized. I can do that by selecting the column that I want to make bigger, and then I can grab onto it. Actually, I can select the table, select the outside boundary of the table until I get my grips, and then use the grip in the column that you want to make that particular column a little bigger or smaller. And you may have to turn off your O-snaps here to make that work. I can make that one bigger. Perhaps I'll make the symbols a little smaller. I'll make the quantity a little bit smaller. I'll make the cost a little bit smaller. Extended cost. And maybe I'll make the remarks a little bit bigger. And I'll hit escape when I'm done there. Now my column widths appear to be what I'm looking for. Finally, I want to do the totals at the bottom here. So I'll type in totals, if I highlight that text, I can change it to be bold. And then for the total here, I want to put a sum in this column. And there's a special tool for summing. If you right-click, if you right-click, well, I don't see it there. If you come up to the if I single click in the cell and then I come up to the insert panel, I can select the sum here, and this is a special formula. When I select sum, it asks me to select the first corner of the table cell range. And what I can do here is I can put a crossing window around those cells that I want to sum. So I'll select all of the cells in the quantity column, and as soon as I left click, it automatically places that formula in this cell for totals that totals the quantity. I'll hit enter and I see that there's a quantity of 33 different plants and trees. I could also highlight that and make it bold to match my totals. Another way to do that is to right click on the cell that you want, and from that dialog box choose Insert, Formula, and Sum. And then it's the same process. Just select the cells that you want to sum. I'm going to highlight it and make it bold. Hit enter, and it sums up those cells. Another way to do it is to enter the formula for the sum yourself. And I can do that by double-clicking in the cell. I'll put in the equal sign, which lets the table know that I'm going to enter a formula. I'll say sum, S-U-M. I'll put a parentheses, and then within the parentheses I'll put the cells that I want to sum. I want to sum E3, which is that 150, through, and I'll put a colon here, through cell E12, which is the $400 for the rose bushes. I'll end the parentheses, and I'll highlight that and make it bold. I'll hit enter, and it sums up the total extended cost column of all of my different plants and trees. I can save my work, and I've completed my plant list.